Welcome to the Shortwave radio channel, and I wanted to do a little future of U.S. shortwave broadcasting part 2. And we don't know, like I said, what's going to happen with the broadcast from the Overcomer Ministry. Maybe something is already decided and everything's going to continue and there's going to be tons of broadcasts. Maybe not. Here we're going to actually speculate on, okay, they are gone from shortwave. What is going to be the state of U.S. private broadcasting? That's going to be interesting because it costs quite a lot of money to run and operate shortwave broadcast transmitters. And you will need, one of the biggest problems in life is when you rely on one big, service that donates a lot of money. When you rely on only one customer, that is the majority of what you do. The biggest danger of that is that when that major customer is actually gone, you lose a majority of your business. In the Overcomer Ministry, well, that's pretty much what's happening. Once again, we won't go into details of anything about, what we think or not of the Overcomer Ministry. We're just going to look at the state of shortwave broadcasting with that gone. Already, one of the things that I've noticed that I find kind of interesting is the amount of airtime devoted to music on shortwave from U.S. broadcasters. That has always a little puzzled me because music is not bringing in any money. It's not like renting airtime. And it's obvious that some of that music has been put there because there's, some airtime to be sold and to be rented. And they don't have anyone there to do so. One of the things that came to mind last night is because of all that money coming in from one customer, I wonder if partly U.S. broadcasters have been kind of sitting, doing nothing, just being lazy and trying to find customers because they had so much money coming in from that customer that they didn't need to make that big of an effort. The only broadcaster that actually, from what I see here, makes an effort in probably trying to find something is WRMI, which has several international broadcasters renting airtime. So in international broadcasters, we have Argentina, we have Albania with Radio Tirana, we have Radio Prague from the Czech Republic, we have Radio Slovakia from Slovakia. I don't think they have them anymore, but at some point they had Radio France, which was nice. It is something that I find interesting here. I know that it's difficult sometimes to have broadcasters agree on something, but I find that at the cost that it would run, a lot of broadcasters might, I think it would be interesting for them to actually have some airtime over a station like WRMI, for example. I think of the BBC. The BBC already has FM radio airtime. Maybe they're thinking that is, enough and that's what we need. But at the price, at the cost of a WRMI rent of transmitters, it wouldn't cost them a lot of money to actually get into North America through shortwave again. And there's a lot of broadcasters. We talked about Radio Canada International that's slowly dying now. It would have cost almost nothing to have them on the air via WRMI. And Canada would have been back on shortwave. There's a lot of things like that that you look at and you're like, nobody's interested? It's going to be a rough one if they have no other customers, and if they don't find any other customers, it's going to be a tough one for these broadcasters that have been relying, once again, on one big customer that does it all. and a little bit of customers here and there. There's, some private programming like Voice of the Report of the Week, for example, and Radio Emma Talk, and quite a few little things like that. The play around, that play on the air of these stations. Yesterday I did say something that somebody corrected me, and it is true that, when you look at the schedule, it's not theirs. One U.S. broadcaster actually resisted the Brother Stare broadcast, and it was WTWW. And WTWW, I wonder if, I'm sure that the Overcomer Ministry went to WTWW and asked for some airtime. I mean, they're everywhere, so they must have gone to them. And WTWW didn't actually air Brother Stare, from what I see. So they resisted, which look at the next video I'm going to post, which is going to be a little bit of a rant on U.S. broadcasters, which is, something that we'll talk about. But what customers can they have? And I mean, the airtime goes anywhere from $30 to $60, $70 per hour. It's not that much money, but it's also, I think, a reflection of the state of the shortwave broadcasting in North America. I think one of the things you'll want to see is also my next video, where I'm going to have a mix of some comments I've seen and my own little rant, and I think it could be very interesting also at the same time. We're going to have all of that taken together. But one thing for sure, they're going to need some customers, because those transmitters aren't going to run themselves, and there is going to be a definite lack of money coming into their stations, and the bills are going to have to be paid. These are huge operations, and the temptation or the pressure might actually start getting big enough to think about selling and shutting down. There's a lot of land that is taken over by these transmitters also at the same time, and the antennas. This is definitely a challenge, and it's definitely something that might completely redefine shortwave in the U.S. private broadcasting scene in the future, in the next years, because of all the change that it's going to actually have. So we'll keep an eye on that, and that is for sure. And anybody has ideas, anybody has something that they want to propose, why not write to these stations and give them suggestions? And if you write to international broadcasters, why not let them know that, instead of beaming 500 kilowatts to North America, if they want to be heard, they could rent over WRMI, they could rent over WWCR. Who knows what that could bring? If you enjoy my videos, please subscribe, give us a thumbs up. Thank you for watching.